Welcome to this episode of the Connecting Faith to Life podcast. This is Tommy Metter, lead pastor of Northwood Baptist Church right here in North Charleston, South Carolina. And I'm so glad you've joined us on the episode today as we try to help you over the next few moments connect faith to life. All right, welcome. So glad you are tuning into the podcast today, and it's a bit different today because Trey's not here. Instead, we have
Ramblin' Randy is back in town.
Yeah, that I knew that was coming. I knew that we would not be able to get through the podcast.
You're going to regret this.
I mean, I don't know, man. I think it's been a while since it's been me and you on the podcast.
It has been too long.
It has been, and you know, we're the original duo here at Northwood. We should be doing more of this together because we're the original duo.
I think I might have scared you off earlier on with my Ramblin' Randy. I think that might have led you to believe that things would go off the rails.
Well, yeah. But, you know, Trey's got the radio voice, so he was the natural selection to sit in that seat. But
He does have a good voice.
You're a good backup, though. I mean, you've got a good voice, too. You've never really done any radio, have you?
No radio.
Just a lot of singing.
No TV. Just a lot of singing.
Well, how you doing, man? You had a pretty decent summer?
It has been a wild few months.
It's been very wild. And it's been very wild this week in the office because me and you, we're the only ones here.
It's quiet.
Everybody's gone.
I'm getting so much work done.
I know, right? Like everybody's gone on mission trips or whatever. Like we've got Cody's in the DR and Trey and I don't know, half the staff is in Boston. And so it's literally just me and you in the office. And it feels like we're at a small church again.
It does.
Right? I remember the days when it was just me in the office.
It's funny. The phone isn't ringing at all.
If it's ringing, we're just not answering.
We just don't answer. So if you tried to call this week, we're sorry.
Yeah, text us or email us because, I don't even know how that phone works, to be honest with you. But, yeah. It has been a crazy summer, though, hasn't it?
Yeah, coming off of sports, baseball for both of us.
For both of us. We've been heavily involved in sports this season.
It's a little crazy.
Asher, he and Hudson are the same age, right? He's
That's
10
right.
years old. And Hudson's 10 years old, and so, but this was for Asher, his second year doing kid pitch baseball, right?
That's correct.
Because he got to move up a little early.
He moved
for
up
some
a year
reason.
early last year, and this is our first year playing in our town where we live, Goose Creek.
Where'd y'all play last year?
We were playing in Hanahan.
Oh.
When COVID hit, we just
I didn't know that.
they shut down baseball, rec baseball, in Goose Creek, so we decided to play wherever they were offering, and they just happened to be offering in Hanahan. So that's where we ended up, and we played there for a few years until we.
So now you were in Goose Creek. Did y'all like Goose Creek?
Yes,
Is it a pretty big league or is it a smaller league? Because we might make a change.
We had six teams.
Okay.
So not super big, but not small either. There was enough competition to go around, and it was really close to the house. We could actually ride our golf cart to the baseball fields versus driving 20 minutes.
We're closer to Goose Creek, but we play in Monk's Corner because when we moved here, our boys started going to school in Monk's Corner, and so we played Monk's Corner rec ball because it was kids they knew in the school. And Monk's Corner baseball is huge. They've got, I don't know how many kids. It was like the first year we played, it was hundreds and hundreds of kids. It was like, and every year they have a record number signing up. And
lots of travel ball players.
Lots of travel ball players. It is wild, highly competitive. And so Hudson had his first year of kid pitch this year and did really well, but first year kid pitch is an adjustment.
It is a big adjustment.
Yeah. And then Luke played his first full year in the 13, so he's in the highest age bracket there now. They go to 15 and he's done. So he's 13 to 15 and did really well. He made the All-Stars this year. We'll talk about that. We just got back from a big tournament. And Asher was an All-Star as well.
First year in Goose Creek and first year making All-Stars.
Yeah, how'd that go for him?
It was an adjustment going out of the regular season. Even though our team won first place for the regular season, having all the best players from all the teams competing together it was different.
Yeah.
The pitching was faster. The fielding was better.
Yeah.
It was a higher level of expectation, more nights of practice. It was a lot.
It was insane. So we went from, so back in the fall, and for you listening who have multiple kids, you know how this works. Hudson was doing basketball. Y'all don't do basketball. Y'all just do baseball, right?
Just baseball.
So Hudson did basketball at his school. So we had a full season of basketball. And at the same time he was doing basketball, Luke was doing fall baseball, trying to get ready to make the cut at the school team. And so we went from that to January. Luke made the cut for the school team at Northwood Academy. Not only made the cut, but got selected to play on both the middle school team and the high school JV team. So by the time we got through the school season, he had already played like 40 games of baseball.
And then you put rec on top of that.
And then he wanted to
then
continue to play rec
All-Stars.
ball. So he went out and played a season of rec ball, another 10 games, and then was selected as an all-star. So he's probably played, 55 games this year. It's been wild.
And I think every time I saw him here at church, he was always throwing the ball or doing something baseball-related out.
Both of my boys love baseball, but because we got all kinds of baseball players here. Cody played at CSU. You got Will. Will didn't play at CSU. Did he play baseball?
He played growing up.
He played a lot of baseball. He and Colson, and they've both been big influences. And
right.
Reagan played CSU ball, and so he was trying to help Luke pitch. And he's had a lot of guys here helping him to get his game up, and it helped. I mean, because he really had a really good season. But all that to say, man, it's been a crazy, crazy ball season. And so we had our state tournament in Seneca, and this was a big deal for me. Because I actually made the decision to not preach on a Sunday and go to a baseball tournament, which I thought was kind of against everything I would stand for. Kind of, you have that.
That was a tough decision.
It was a tough decision, man. And y'all encouraged me as a staff to go on and do it. And I sent an email to the deacons. And everybody I talked to said, "Man, I'm so glad you went. We're part of that and support you." And everybody's right. You don't get those memories back, and it was a big deal. Like it's a once in a lifetime opportunity for Luke. Who knows what will happen next year? But man, that was a different baseball world.
Yes.
It was intense.
All the time. 100 miles an hour.
100 miles an hour. And we played 4 games in 2 days, or 3 games in 2 days. Won 1, lost 2, had to come home. But baseball is now over. Until September, and we start all over again. Because both my boys will play fall ball.
A little bit of a breather, and that's it.
Yeah. So I think this is going to be an interesting topic to talk about today because we're both coming out of very busy ball seasons. And honestly, for me, this past year, it's been either ministry, and that's a lot. That's time-consuming, obviously, and in a very good way. It's been a lot of ministry or a lot of baseball, and there really hasn't been much else. I mean, I don't know about you, Randy, but like at my house, there's so much stuff that needs to be done that has not been done because I've been either here or I've been on the ball field.
That's right. And there were many days that I think both of us were leaving straight from work,
going straight to
practice.
Yeah.
And then
getting
practice
home at 9
is
o'clock at night.
9:30, and you're just trying to get the kids back down.
Yeah.
Maybe eat a little bit of food because you hadn't eaten all day.
Yeah. My diet this past year has been horrible.
Horrible, yes.
I've eaten so much fast food. It's been terrible. I mean, it tastes good.
Was necessary, though. There was no other way
option.
around it.
Right. Because, I mean, you could pack a lunch, I guess, but who wants to do that?
That would have made it even more miserable.
Can you imagine?
Have to
here's
bring
your
a brown
sandwich.
bag ham
Here's
sandwich.
Your ham sandwich. So, any rate. But I know, like, for us, we're not the only ones that have students in sports. And not even just thinking about sports, but if you have kids, it's so easy getting so involved in so much stuff. This week here on our campus, while our staff is away, our campus is still busy because one of the theater groups that meets here on campus, they're having a camp this week. And so I know we have a lot of kids in our church. They're involved in theater or something. All that to say, your kid's time is going to get eaten up by something. And lots of those things are really good things. Sports are a good thing. Music's a good thing. And it just happened that our kids gravitated towards sports. Your kids might gravitate towards music or theater or something else. But whatever they gravitate toward, it's going to take up a lot of time. And not only a lot of time, a lot of money. Baseball bats are expensive, Randy.
We got the Walmart special.
Yeah, well.
And it was still expensive.
Yeah, see, we're at that point now with Luke. We can still get away with that with Hudson, but they have to have those BB Core bats.
And they are extremely expensive.
They are extremely expensive. The one we just got here recently was $300, and that was on sale. It's wild. And it will last him maybe a season or 2 seasons, and you got to do it again. I didn't really know this. I'm rambling on, but I do this. You only get so many hits with those things.
That's it.
They don't last.
Once they're done, they're done.
They'll literally go dead.
And you can actually try to sell them on Facebook Marketplace, and you still pay the full price, it seems like. Right. Anytime you try to go get a cheaper deal, it's still what you would pay to get a new one.
But all that to say, our boys love sports. I love sports. It's fun. So I just want to think about, okay, with us coming out of a sports season and going back into one couple months, as a follower of Jesus, how can I think well about sports? I don't want to consume me, right? I don't want to be consumed by sports. I don't want my boys to be consumed by sports, but I enjoy it. And I want to enjoy sports, right? Like right now here we're recording this podcast. I don't know if you know this, Randy, but right now the Indiana Fever are playing. Caitlin Clark's playing right now as we record this podcast. I'd love being in the office watching on Hulu, but I'm not.
Who is this?
Yeah, she plays tennis.
Oh, tennis, good.
Right.
I'll be honest with you, for the listeners out there, I am the non-typical dude. I don't watch.
You don't watch a lot of sports.
I don't watch sports hardly at all. unless it's like a big game,
Yeah.
the World Series or.
Logan and JP are probably the biggest two sports guys in the office.
They know all the stats. They know all the players.
I like to watch it, but I don't have time to keep up with the stats and all that.
I just pretend to know.
Right, just nod your head.
Players.
Yeah. Caitlin Clark, great tennis player. Yeah. So there you go. So here's the question: how can we think well about sports, and how sports really, in a lot of ways, helps us in life, teaches us things about the faith? How can we think well about sports? I want to give you 6 ways, as we're coming out of a baseball season, for our kids anyway, 6 ways to think about sports. And I think some of these things will obviously apply to whatever activities you or your family may be involved in. But I thought this would be fun to talk through. Okay, Randy, give us the first one.
All right, so sports can actually reveal where your heart really lies.
Yeah, why do you think I say that?
Well, it's interesting when you think about the hours that you have in a day, and how you spend those hours. And it says a lot about where your heart is leading.
Yeah.
Leading yourself, leading your family. And so you can just like you can take an honest assessment of your checkbook to see what's important to you. You can really take a look at your hours that you spend every day out of the week and see what's most important and where that's going to be leading you and your heart. And so if you follow the wrong thing, if you spend time doing the wrong thing, that's going to lead you down some very dangerous roads.
Yeah, so what I try to talk to the boys about often is just how easy it is for our hearts to turn to idolatry. And it is very easy for sports to become an idol in our lives, or anything for that matter. But I think about especially like going to this past tournament this past weekend. There was a dad at this tournament. He didn't say a whole lot, but what he did say was something like this: my boy is going to be in the room at 9 o'clock every night in bed because the only reason why we are here is baseball. So we didn't see them, man, like that. But that was the mindset, right? And I see like some of these parents just really pushing their kids to be, and there's nothing wrong with excellence. There's nothing wrong with being the best, but like that's it. That's all they're living for is baseball, right? And so for them, like that baseball has become a god in their lives. So for me, the reason why we play a lot of baseball is because my boys enjoy it. Right, they're passionate about it, and I want my boys to pursue their passions, whether it's baseball or academics. Actually, I want to make good grades. I want to get a job someday. But whatever it is, I want them to pursue their passions. I want to support them in their passions. I just don't want to be an idol in their lives. And you can very easily tell when it's becoming an idol, when it consumes you, where all you want is whatever joy that thing gives you or satisfaction. That's where life's focus is. And so these sports, they can really show you if you're not careful.
Yeah, it becomes your identity.
Yeah, it really does.
And if your identity as a believer is in Christ, then if you make anything else your identity, that's going to cause lots of problems and lots of friction in your walk with God.
Yeah, so you just be aware that sports or anything for that matter that your family is involved in on a regular basis, it can really reveal where your heart really lies. What's the next one, Randy?
All right, so the second one is sports can actually help teach you how to live a disciplined life.
Yeah.
It's funny. I was talking to Asher about this through baseball, just the work that you have to put in to get better. He actually just got selected to be in the 5th grade band, so he got a trumpet now, and so
I saw him coming down the hall yesterday with a trumpet. He wasn't very happy.
He was blaring it in the office, and I had to remind him that people are actually, well, even though it was just me and you, people are actually working. But it takes discipline.
And that's practice. A hard instrument, man. You got to get the lips right.
You got to get the lips right. You got to get the fingering and all everything.
Yeah,
it just takes a lot of practice. But when you think about how to live a disciplined life in your walk with God, you have to be disciplined.
Yeah.
And so it's a very easy translation for me to argue, hey, just like you have to be disciplined to get good at, say, a sport or baseball or trumpet or whatever it is, you have to do this in your walk with God too.
Yeah, Paul talks about this, right? So when Paul talks about living a disciplined life in 1 Corinthians chapter 9, he uses a sports analogy. He says, I'm not like a boxer beating the air, right? But I discipline my body. And so Paul, it's not the only place Paul uses a sports analogy. Paul was probably a baseball player, I guess. I don't know, because he uses lots of sports analogies. But he's talking about sports and using that as an example of living a disciplined life, because you and I know this. As a follower of Jesus, what helps us grow is being disciplined. That discipline of getting up early in the morning and being in the Word, or spending time with the Lord in prayer. Those disciplines, and I've seen it in my life, you've seen it in your life, Randy, over the course of the years, those disciplines really do produce godliness as we allow the Spirit of God to work in us as we discipline ourselves for godliness. And sports, it really does help us to think about a disciplined life. I think about the school team that Luke plays on at Northwood Academy. He has the coach makes them turn in a food log. He wants to see what his kids are eating.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm glad I don't play on that team.
Me too. I would not turn in the log. No. I would just lie. I'm sorry. I know you're not supposed to lie, but I would lie.
Yeah, right. So he's got to turn in a food log, and all these kinds of things to prove that he's disciplining himself to be the best at, and especially now that Luke's gotten to that level of play where he's playing more competitive ball. Right? There's times you want to come home and watch TV, just chill. But if you're going to be an athlete, you got to do what you got to do. You got to get the push-ups in or the run in or whatever the case may be. You don't have time to sit and watch TV. So that discipline is what's going to help him become a better athlete. And in the Christian faith, that discipline helps us become more like Christ. And so sports really does teach us a lot about discipline. Well, what athletes do you know, Randy, that aren't disciplined? If you're not going to be an athlete very long.
No, raw talent can only take you so far.
That's right.
And then at some point, you're going to have to put the work in. You're going to have to do the work. I like the word grit. Yeah. To really just grind through it and just have really grit through a discipline to work through the difficulties, to work through it, and just to get better at that thing.
Yeah. What's the next one?
All right, so sports can also help you handle adversity.
This is huge, right? Because here's the deal. I'm a musician. I've played the piano all my life. You're a musician. You've played the guitar. You've sang for a lot of time. And if you think about it, Randy, in music, it's just reality. Now, you can challenge me if you think I'm wrong. There's really not a lot of adversity. You think about it. There's not a lot of you learn the instrument, you play it, and everybody claps, so you did a great job. I mean, I guess if you lose your voice, that's some adversity. That happens. Or you break a finger, that's some adversity.
Yeah, but not very much.
Yeah, I've only broken my finger one time. You know what I'm saying?
And you can still play with a broken finger.
Right. It might hurt, but you can still play. But you think about sports. I mean, and it seems like every game there's some adversity. Every game. You get a run behind, you got to figure out how to fight back, or, you drop a ball, or you strike out. Or in every game, you are constantly facing adversity. And that's a good thing because it teaches you how to handle the adversity and how to push through as you aim towards victory. Right. This weekend at this state tournament, Luke had an excellent season. I mean, he was smacking the ball all season long. He hit his first home run this year in the district tournament right here in our area. He had a triple, a double, a couple. I mean, he was been smacking the ball. But at the state championship, he struggled at the plate. He just couldn't get the bat on the ball. It just like a light bulb went off instead of going on. And man, he was down. He was discouraged. But but that was helpful and trying to help him think through. Buddy, that's life. You're not always going to hit a home run. You're not always going to hit a triple. You're not going to, sometimes you're going to go through spells where you just can't hit the ball, and you've got to learn how to overcome that mentally and not get in your head, right?
That's right. You got to adapt.
Yeah. So that adversity, he needed that, right? And you think about your faith as followers of Jesus. How often do we face adversity? Every single day. Because as soon as you get up in the morning, there is an enemy, 1 Peter chapter 5, who is seeking to devour you. You live a life full of adversity. But here's the difference, right? In this state tournament Luke was just in, there was no guaranteed victory. You know what I'm saying? Like they had to fight for that victory that they did not get. In the Christian life, there is already victory in Christ Jesus. We have already overcome sin and death because of what Christ did through his death and resurrection. There is guaranteed victory. And so that helps us, that motivates us to keep on moving forward even in the adversity because you're going to face it.
I mean, how crazy would that have been if they go in, they're losing games, but yet they already know that they've won the World Series.
Here's the trophy.
Yeah, right. You've already won. You still got to play the games. And even though you may lose some of the games, you still have already won the whole thing.
Yeah.
And that's what the Christian life is. It's interesting to see when Asher and his teammates had a loss, just the overwhelming emotion.
Yeah.
What a life lesson. Like sometimes things don't go the way you want them to. That doesn't mean life is over. It doesn't mean you throw in the towel.
Yeah.
It just means you adapt and overcome and you keep pushing through.
You get to try again, right? And that's a good thing about faith too, because there is adversity in our faith every single day, and sometimes in that adversity we don't respond well. We sin, we are faithless, but even though we sin sometimes in our adversity, or we're faithless in the face of the adversity, God still allows us the opportunity to start over and get back in the saddle and go at it again. So it's very, very good.
That's right. Well, number 4, sports can help you learn how to be a team player.
Yeah. There's no I in team.
There is no I in team.
But there is a me in team.
There is, yes.
Luke is very quick to point that out.
You make him run laps when he says that?
Right, something like that. When I'm trying to but yeah, there's not really a me. The letters are there, but they're not in the
They're
me
not in order.
So, yeah.
You can't use that argument. It's,
Right. But, I mean, most sports are team sports. Golf is not, I guess, unless you're playing, I don't know, tennis, not so much. But baseball is, basketball is. Most sports are team sports. And learning how to rely on each other is a big deal. And then you think about our faith. Man, I think about all the things God has done at Northwood over the last 7 years. It's because we've been a team, right? Like our church has bought into the vision and mission, and our church is doing it together. There's not a lone ranger on our team that's getting it all done. I think even as a staff, man, there's some teamwork that goes on because we see what the victory is. We go after it together, and we actually even enjoy doing it together. There's something special that God is doing in our church because our church is actually operating as a local body is supposed to operate. Now we've got our flaws, but I think by and large we're operating as God desires us to operate. And so there's some unity, there's encouragement in that, there's victory in that because we're doing this thing together. I mean, and that's the way it's supposed to be. Like we're supposed to, as followers of Jesus, do life together and to live out God's purpose together.
When you think about the sports analogy, we get to run the race together.
Yeah.
We get to fight the fight together.
Yeah.
And we fight to the end. And we're not out there by ourselves. We have not only a cloud of witnesses like Hebrews talks about that have run the race before us, but we have the church body that we are running the race with and other believers that we're fighting with. And that's great encouragement that we are not alone in this, that we're together, unified as a team, as the body of Christ, fighting for one common goal, one common purpose.
Yep. What you got next?
All right, so sports can also teach you how to either be selfless or selfish.
Yeah, it's a big deal.
I've seen a lot of selfishness this baseball season.
Oh, absolutely. And the kids and the parents.
Everybody.
Everybody.
The coaches, the umpires.
I've seen it in me, right?
Yes.
Like those couple times that the coach chose to sit my kids on the bench. Why you sit my kid on the bench and not somebody else's kid? Right?
You start to compare to the other kids
that's
as
exactly
a
right.
parent.
That's
hey, my kid's better than that kid.
That's exactly right, right? So and that's the conversation we're constantly having both with Luke and Hudson. Like you've got an opportunity here to either be selfless or selfish. Selfish is when the game doesn't go your way, you're going to sit on the bench, you're going to pout because you struck out or because you missed the ball or whatever the case may be. Selfless is even when you might not be doing personally as well as you want to do, you're going to get up off the bench. You're going to go to you're going to cheer your team on. You're going to encourage when somebody else makes a good play. You're going to say, "Hey, man, that was great!" Right? That selflessness that you're recognizing you're part of the team, and so since you recognize you're part of the team, you're encouraging. Even when it's not going your way, you're still going to choose to be a blessing to somebody else. Right?
That's right. And I actually saw Asher. I was very proud of him this past year because whenever one of his teammates would make a bad play, it's very easy for, as a teammate, to go, wow, they made a mistake. Why don't they put me in their place?
Right.
But instead, I saw Asher several times actually encourage his teammates. Now, he didn't do it all the time, but there were lots of times he did, and it was like, that's what we want.
That's right.
We want to encourage, whether they're winning or losing, we want to encourage them and build up those that are on our team.
Yeah, because here's the fact of the matter. Probably none of our boys are going to make it to the major leagues. Probably none of our boys I hope they get college scholarships for baseball, but probably not.
Very little hope.
There's very little hope. There are thousands and thousands and thousands of boys playing baseball right now. And so to think that mine might get that shot, I mean, is probably not realistic. It's all that to say their attitude and character is going to take them much further in life than athletics ever will.
And going back to the disciplined life, as they're learning the game of baseball, hopefully they're learning good sportsmanship.
That's right.
They're learning how to interact with people.
That's right.
And that should help them be selfless instead of selfish.
So the ball field's a good place to learn about selfless character, right? Because it's a good life skill. And as followers of Jesus, I mean, that's what it's about, right? You think about the fruit of the Spirit, love, joy, peace, patience, kindness. All that fruit of the Spirit, that's a selfless life. That's putting, others before yourself and wanting to see others excel, even in those moments that you yourself might not be excelling as much as you want to. I mean, that's putting others first. That's what Christ calls us to. And so, man, again, there's just all kinds of lessons you learn in sports that really do apply to the Christian life if you think about it.
That's right. And having those conversations after whatever that sport or that thing is that your kids are doing, having follow-up conversations. Hey, how could you have done that better?
Yeah.
What went well, what didn't go well, and then having them self-identify maybe some of their attitudes, right or wrong, that they can improve on or that they can continue to excel in.
That's exactly right. Last one, Randall.
Last one is sports can give you an opportunity to shine the light of Christ.
Yeah, so this past weekend when we were in Seneca on Sunday morning, we got up, we went to church. No one else on the team, well, I say that. One of the moms went with us. So it was us, my family, and this mom. That was it. Because everyone on our team, I think, I don't think they have a relationship with Jesus Christ, right? And so just reminding Luke and Hudson, hey, in the sports world, you're probably going to be one of the only ones that actually walks with Jesus. And so what an opportunity you have to shine the light of Christ. And you do that through your attitude and through the way you are disciplined and you give your all, and in the way you are quick to give praise to God for anything good that happens. And so just that reminder is that the sports world is a very dark world, right? Especially when you start thinking about all these tournaments and travel ball. People are willingly not going to church and instead pursuing the baseball gods, right? Which, again, nothing wrong with sports, but just that reminder, hey, we've got an opportunity here that every time we're on the ball field, it's an opportunity to represent the God that you serve. And so when we left the house for the weekend for this tournament, we were talking about Colossians 3:17, right? Whatever you do, word or deed, give glory to Jesus Christ and give thanks to God in everything. And we talked about that verse over and over and over again. Whatever you do, word or deed, word or deed, word or deed. I was constantly reminding my boys this past weekend, Colossians 3:17. Don't forget, every time you go on the ball field, Colossians 3:17, word or deed, whatever you do, glory of Christ, because it is a big deal.
And people see it.
Absolutely.
People see it. It was neat to see, because I helped coach Asher's team, and we even had one of the coaches that visited here a couple weeks ago, and just to know that they saw that I talked different, and that Asher responded different to disappointment. They began to send the kids to me whenever they were acting out of line. They'd go talk to
Coach Pastor Randy.
That's right. And so I got to pour into these kids, and it wasn't like I was having an hour-long gospel conversation with them, but I even had one of the parents come up and say, "Thank you so much for taking the time to just talk with my son about his attitude," because if you're shining the light of Christ, people will notice.
That's right.
Period.
That's right.
They're going to notice. But it's so easy when you get distracted by what might be an idol for you to not do that, and then they won't see Christ, and you have missed, at that point, you've missed a huge opportunity.
That's right. That's right. Well, Randall?
Hey, that was fun.
Yeah. We should do this more often.
Hopefully we don't have to talk about how much time baseball takes up in our lives for at least a couple more months. I don't know how some of these families do it with 3 or 4 kids or 5 kids, and they are all playing sports.
I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
I'm not going to know.
I'm not. That's right. That's right. We're done. We're done. Hey, I mean, it's a lot of fun, and whatever. I'm glad it's over a couple months, but we'll do it again. And before we end, thanks for preaching this past Sunday.
Hey, absolutely.
I heard you did a great job. We went to another church. I didn't get to hear the message, and I need to go back and listen to it, but I heard you knocked it out of the park.
Well,
see the baseball analogy there, knocked it out of the park.
I almost opened it up with a song, because we talked about friendship, and there's a Garth Brooks song that I could have opened up with, but I didn't, because I knew that I would be uninvited to the podcast.
Book of Proverbs, wisdom. You're learning some wisdom.
That's right.
Proud of you. All right. Well, I hope this has been helpful for you today, and if it has been helpful for you, go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you can have new content delivered to your device every single week. Leave us a 5-star review. That helps us to get word up about the podcast. And as always, we hope today's episode has helped you connect faith to life.